how they tell me to slow down, but homie, I'm just living my life and gonna do what you think is right.
Hello, it's Janice here in the soapy room, and well, today is quite a big day for me, quite a momentous day. So I set myself a challenge to make 1,000 bars of antimicrobial soap for Mary's Meals, and today I make the last batch. So I'm really super excited, really want to celebrate after this evening, put my feet up and chill for a bit. So I just thought, with it being the very last making of it, that I would just let you in and show you the process, and I also want to say thank you to everybody who joined me on Spin the Wheel, everybody who's been supportive, everybody who donated towards helping me buy ingredients. So much appreciated, and on behalf of myself and Mary's Meals, I'm sure they would want me to also say thank you, just for the support and encouragement to do something for those less fortunate, for those in need, and soap just now is just so important with the pandemic. So over to the soaping table we go. So it's a bit noisier here in the soapy room today, mainly because of windows open, because it's absolutely roasting. So I'm making sure I have my gloves on and my safety goggles. Woohoo! And so what I have here is, this is all my oils and butters. So the butters have been melted and mixed with the oils. So that's all that's in there. I'm actually going to take this out. Okay. And then in here we have our lye solution. Just looks like water, harmless water, but that stuff will burn skin off you. Very dangerous. So what we do is, we take the lye water and we carefully put it in to the oils. Then this goes straight into my do not touch tub. There we go. Okay, so initially I like to just give it a stir. And just start it mixing together. It's been fun the last few months, been able to share with you, the different ingredients that go into making this bar of soap. You can have hundreds and hundreds of different oils and lards and butters, but they have to be selected very carefully depending on the quality of the bar of soap that you want. Right, excuse me for a second while I blend. So this mixture will remain caustic, as in you can't touch it. It will remain caustic until about, I usually give it 2 days. So I will put this into the moulds and cover it up and wrap it up in towels. It heats up considerably and it saponifies, so it turns into soap. Then in 2 days' time, you can unmould it and you've got good old brilliant soap. Now, guess you're kind of seeing the easy bit, because prior to this I had to mix the sodium hydroxide with the deionized water, and because that heats up I have to put that to one side to cool. Then I have to melt my butters and my solid oil, and it basically, sort of measuring all the ingredients takes quite a long time. And then when I've done that, I have to line my moulds with the baking paper, which makes it much easier to get the soap back out. So there's 2 of those moulds. And so then then comes this point where we put it all together. So over here I have my essential oils of lavender and tea tree, and we're now, what we're looking for here is we're looking for a thing known as trace. Once it has trace, so it emulsifies first where it sort of joins and blends, then it reaches trace, and once it reaches trace, we're good to add the essential oil and basically put it into the mould. All kinds of things can affect your soap making. The temperature of the environment, and the temperature of your oils, and the temperature of the lye. It's all I tend to soap at room temperature, which is why I give everything a chance to cool down before I start using it. And of course with this, you can stand here and stick blend for ages, or you can actually just leave it for a few minutes. I'm going to leave it for a few minutes and come back. And so after having given it a few minutes, then we're just going to have to come and have another wee look at it, give it another wee buzz. And I can feel it's getting thicker now. So the way we know if it's reached trace is when we dribble onto the surface, you can see a line, or you can see it kind of landing on the surface, kind of looking like custard now. It's a bit thick. So at this point I'm going to add my essential oils. And then we give this a good old mix together. Now this soap's actually quite a simple soap to make, because we don't have colour, we're not putting any colour in it. That also helps to keep the cost down, because I mean colour is really cosmetic anyway. There's nothing wrong with this colour. I mean, you can, with soap's fun. Soap's a really creative, fun hobby to have. You can make layers, anything from just a coloured soap to a layered soap to all kinds of fancy swirls and designs. I mean, they're just incredible. I've even seen soap art. There's no other word for it. It's incredible. Right, we're going to give this another wee blast just to mix in those essential oils. Just like to make sure that it's all incorporated really well. And that's looking good. And we bring that out. I don't know if you can see from where you are, but we're definitely getting a line on there, so that's good. So I'm just going to bring my moulds over. Okay, and then to unpick this, and just going to, there's a lot of scraping involved with soaping, because this is all basically soap now, so you don't want to waste any of it, and you don't really want it all going down your sink either. So you want to get as much in the mould as possible. And this is how we do it. Okay. And they do not touch top. Okay. Get my hands a wee wipe here. Right. So the next bit is the pour. A woohoo! Here we go. Pouring my 1000th bar. My 1000th bar. There was one week when I was pouring the soap, and I just knew that I knew it was short. It's the worst thing in the world if you miss an ingredient. Oh, it just means you can't, use a soap. It's such a waste. There's so much ingredient in here. There's nearly 2 litres of olive oil, extra virgin, and coconut oil, and of course your essential oils, and it was that week was heartbreaking to do all the work and then realise that I had missed an ingredient. So that's why there are so many different, I do so many different safety checks throughout the process, making sure everything's there. And yeah, I wonder how many hours. I was just thinking, let me see, it was the 19th of February. It was the 19th of February that I poured my first 2 loaves for Mary's Meals. So I've been doing it since then. So there we go. So then what we want to do is, sometimes in your soap batter there can be air pockets. So we just want to give it a good bang, see if we can get rid of any air bubbles there might be. Okay. And then it's a fun bit you get to do. You can really see trace now, can't you, where the last bits of soap fell on top. I hope you can anyway. Well, I'm going to bring you down so you can see a wee bit better. Sort of all the wee swirls along here. So yeah, so the next thing, which is the fun part, I would love to just write love from Scotland but you would never see it because you'd have to have all the bars together in the right order to be able to see it. I'm daft, sure I am, but never mind. So all I do is, to keep it nice and simple and to make it easy to package, I just do my own wee swirly design. And it just gives the top a little bit of interest, but it still keeps it flat. Now as your soap is thickening, you can do all kinds of things with it. You can actually bring it up at the edges so that it's sort of taller in the middle. I guess like the roof of a house, sort of going up at the sides. Yeah, there's no end. Your imagination is is your limit, really. I can't believe I'm swirling the last bars. I'll be celebrating tonight, I'll tell you. Woofed! Because like, this was a challenge that I really didn't want to fail. And when I announced it, to everybody, there was no getting out of it. Do you know what I mean? When you tell people, and I announced it deliberately to give myself accountability. Boy, does that work. If you ever want to be, to really see a thing through, tell the world about it. Then you really have to do it. Because if you don't, then you look like you're not a person of your word. So I'm only just going over it again, well, partly because I like it, and partly because it's a nice wee design, but the first time I do it, it's quite a thin trace. Second time I do it, it's thickened up a little bit, so you're more likely to see the pattern on the top. But there we go. It's just a little figure of 8 swirly I'm doing. There we are. So all I will do now with this is spray some rubbing alcohol on the top. That helps to prevent soda ash from forming on the top. And then I'm going to put these two babies to rest. Whoop. Then I'm going to put these two babies to rest. In 2 days' time I'll unmould and cut it, and that'll be the whole lot. So I have that's a box that I'm working on, but there's already that box there is full. It's a big microwave box and it's full, and my son is in the process of tidying these ones. I'm about to wrap these ones, and of course we have all this lot all the way down to there. So anyway, thank you again everybody for just, come on Janice, you can do it, and how's it going with your Mary's Meals? And so thanks everybody, and have a great day. Bye.